did like the care, like the extra care that she took, um, especially for me and like, even other people around us, how did that impact you or make you feel?
And that's a question that is like one of my biggest complaints as a adult, or maybe as like after being a teenager, was the focus on Allison. Was it definitely like took away from how is raising us as far as schooling, and my experience with was like completely different than how it would have been if Allison wasn't sick. And I don't blame that, you know what I'm saying? I don't like hold it against her, but I do know that if there wasn't like financial stress from cancer, or the time needed to support her, then I'd be able to get attention from my dad or from you, that that I desperately sought after. I was like that kid that needed a lot of attention. So um that a lot of the attention that I sought after like ended up becoming like negative attention.
Hmm.
And then after we lost Allison, it like became like a habit, like that negative attention just like compounded interest. So just there was no way um to figure it out until time figures it out, right? It's all better now.
Well, I
But
am so sorry you didn't get the attention that you needed.
no, it's okay. It's not your fault. It's
Yeah,
literally
well,
just
to a
like
certain extent, yeah, it
but
is.
I how do you be a parent? For the most part, the friends that I made at church and stuff were probably like my only friends, because school was not very good to me as far as the social stuff, until high school, and that was after Allison died anyways. So like making going to school and having kids like make fun of me and tell me that they're like glad that my sister is sick. It's
Did
crazy
you
to
really get that?
fathom that. Yeah, yeah. Or I had one kid after she died tell me that he was glad that Allison died and stuff like that. Just like, you're wild, dude. The kids will just say stuff because they know that it'll hurt you. But I can only name a couple times that it had anything to do with Allison. But
Do you feel like that your temper and the way that you reacted, that you were like on high level of reacting, was because of unresolved like anger and frustration and just emotion about Allison's death, or was it other things?
I felt like it was more like how I was supposed to react rather than like unresolved anger. It is more like I'm supposed to stand my ground here and defend, my honor and Allison's honor, and not let these bullies say what they want, you know. And then I would do something, and however it ended up doesn't matter. We'd both end up in the principal's office, and but the problem is that it'd be like a different kid. So like one kid would say something, then we'd fight, and I'd get the principal's boss office. Then another kid would do something, but it would be me still in the principal's office with another kid. So they would just keep seeing me in the principal's office, and it's like, well, they got to stop picking on that. All they see is me. They don't see, you know what I'm saying?
That everybody's
So
picking on? How did it shift to not being a problem?
mindset kind of change. I think I wanted to change who I was. I was able to move from Idaho to Oregon. That start over kind of was a big help for me to be able to be like, okay, well, here's where I can like stop lying about who I am, or stop, making stupid jokes, or maybe stop being so hyperactive all of the time and just chill out for a little bit. And so I kind of was able to make a few personality adjustments in the transition between middle school to high school, the move from location to location where I'm not going to be pressured by a bunch of people that know me while I'm making these changes, and I was able to develop a lot of friends in Oregon, like so much friendship that it's just like crazy that I didn't even know I could have that many friends. And so uh, it was an awesome experience to be able to kind of come into my own.
Yeah, do you feel like you're able to kind of step into who you were more like authentically when you moved to Oregon?
Yeah, definitely like a change, a personal change. You know what I'm saying? I could have done
Mhm.
it anywhere. It just needed to be free of the people that like knew who I was and bullied me for it.
I feel like in changing from Idaho, where everybody knew your situation, they knew your family and all that went with that,
Right.
moving to Oregon and having that new fresh start, do you feel like moving away from everybody knowing your history and knowing what happened to Allison and to the family, did that help or was it a completely just internal thing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was for sure like less pressure on me. Talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't not talk about Allison when I lived there. You know what I'm saying? I told a lot of my friends about it, but you know, there's still some friends over there that I talk to about. Uh, in my 20s, I'd tell them about Allison, and they'd be like, "You never told me this." I'm like, "Really?" So it was kind of like a, like I kind of kept the story to myself. It was a lot of trauma to deal with, and I didn't want to make these friends because they pitied me or felt sorry for me in any way. Kind of like a holistic experience, and I just kind of felt like that in Idaho maybe people would be my friend because of Allison, or maybe they would have like some sort of stigma because of Allison. It all runs downhill, and those negative feelings are gonna run down to your kids. It's just like this fallout. Just take the time and fix yourself, because the other option is for your kids to fix themselves, and you're asking like kids to fix themselves. It's not going to happen, and it's going to take time. But um, there's nothing ever that'll like fill the gap of losing a child, but you have a responsibility to the kids that you already have to take care of yourself. After Allison died, it's like the whole world blew up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
what is there really to even? Is it? Do you talk about just Allison, or do you talk about the way my dad is acting, or do you talk? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the grief was covered up by events going on at the times.
So you were given the opportunity to view her body. How did you, when you look back, is that a choice that you're glad that you were able to make? And how do you feel about the choice that you made?
Yep, super glad. It because uh added realism to it. Like not that it's just like, oh, I can see that my sister's dead. Her body's there. You know what I'm saying? I can say goodbye. If you're a young person and you've lost someone to see the body, I think that I mean, of course, it's up to the parents or whatever. But if I didn't, I think that it would have taken away, my last chance to see her. First of all, fact that she's dead. You know what I'm saying? I don't want
Yeah.
to live the rest of my life wondering, like, is this like some sort of conspiracy theory? And not everyone's the same. Be real and honest with your kids. If they don't want to see the dead body of their relative, then they don't have to. But
Did we describe, or how did we describe what you would be seeing?
you described it, and I don't remember exactly how you described it, but you guys told us what we would see. Yep. I think that that's good too, because like preparing your kids to see something. I mean, it's not grotesque or gruesome, but something gruesome and grotesque that no one wants to have to see, no one should have to see. So, yeah, it's you don't want to just rush your kids into something like that.
Right. Do you feel like the family structure is an important component to all of this?
I mean, it depends on what family structure means to you. Sometimes, like, family structure is, sitting on the couch and eating or watching TV. I don't think that, like, family structure would have solved our problems. You know what I'm saying? I think that yeah, a little bit of structure can help. It just depends on how things are going. Um, totally. I can't say it enough. If you're going through these kinds of things, don't put it on your kid. You should go see a therapist or go see a counselor, because what will happen is that trauma that you are all going through is going to compound interest on you and on your kids and on everybody. And so there's all sorts of support that you can find